You can't trust him.
I don't think this guy is going to put in the time to be great.
Zion's value is debatable.
Let's talk about Zion Williamson. Remember, he's one of over 100 players in NBA history to score at least 20 points a game over their first 5 NBA seasons. Among those players, Zion boasts the best field goal percentage, 59%. That's the good. The bad, of course, is since becoming the first overall pick, he's played in just 45% of the Pelicans' regular season games, and he's missed at least 60% of games in 4 of the last 6 seasons. So here's a look at the Pelicans' expecting starting lineup this season. This doesn't include DeJounte Murray because, remember, he's rehabbing from that Achilles injury that he suffered in January. The team held media day this afternoon, and Zion, he looks pretty good, and he spoke about some tough offseason conversations he had with his trainer.
Last year while I was rehabbing my hamstring, me and him sat down and we had a conversation. He was just like, Z, we need to figure this out. Like, when you come back from rehab, we want you to be better than before it happened, X, Y, Z. And during that time frame last year, I really felt a shift in my body to where I would look at him and go, dude, it feels good to feel good. I haven't felt like this since college, high school, just where I can walk in the gym and I'm like, I feel good.
And that's what we want for Zion, for him to walk in the gym, feel good, and be the exciting player that we all know that he is when he's on the floor. Shams, you have your ear to the ground in these locker rooms. What are you hearing in terms of Zion's relationship, his commitment here with the Pelicans going into this new season?
Malika, it's ever evolving, and a lot of that is the relationship between Zion Williamson and Joe Dumars, the new head of basketball operations there. And Joe Dumars has made it clear publicly and privately that he's going to be holding Zion Williamson accountable this season. And that responsibility comes from leadership, being on time to things. Remember last season, he was suspended for 1 game for being late to a team plane.
Yeah, that's right.
That wasn't the only time Zion Williamson's ever been late. That has been a reoccurring thing for him at different points. But we know this, if he can clean that stuff up, clean up the leadership side, if he can stay healthy, from a difference-making perspective, Zion Williamson has all those qualities to be a real game changer for this team. If he's healthy and on the court, they have playoff expectations. The key is getting him healthy on the court, playing consistently. And
that's a good reminder. I'm sure there's a lot of us out there who forgot about that incident where he was suspended for being late to that team plane. And it sounds like something so little, but those little things add up. Brian, he looks good, though, and he's saying all the right things. What's your reaction hearing about this commitment that he has, talking with his trainer in this offseason?
I appreciate everything that he said. But, actions have to carry over words at this point. The reality is this. 99% of NBA players, forget about 99% of all basketball players, 99% of NBA players teams would have moved on from over this last 6 years. Because Zion Williamson is so immensely talented, the Pelicans stick with him as their hopeful franchise player. But what is being left unsaid, but is pretty clear with the actions of everybody, this is probably it. If he wants it to work in New Orleans, it's got to be now. It's got to show up in this season. And the thing about it is, defining success for the Pelicans is tough. They've got 4 different players, Malika, coming off surgery. This seems like it's a thing that always happens to them. It's happening again. They have 4 guys, including their lottery pick, Derek Queen. Yeah. They need Zion Williamson to do it now. And I'll tell you what. He's got almost $90 million over the next 2 seasons that are non-guaranteed.
That's right.
The Pelicans could cut him. In the apron era, that's something that they could do. And he would get another job, but he wouldn't make $90 million and he wouldn't be the franchise player. He's got a lot to play for this year.
Y'all do realize in this world today, we all just, at some point, just need to feel love. Right? That's what we need, some type of love at some point of our lives. This is where we're at right now. I feel like with the reset in the Pelicans organization for us getting Joe Dumars, having Troy Weaver, the reset with Zion Williamson off the floor, right? You have the great Bill Duffy who's in this corner, his agent. He's under the right guidance now. You could tell he's in the right mental space, and that's going to carry over. And in that feeling love, you have tough love, right? Accountability. People that's going to tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. I played with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I played with Troy Weaver when he was, the assistant general manager right under Sam Presti, and we had tough conversations, right? I wasn't the perfect athlete off the floor. I had my problems. I had my issues, things that I'd done, and Troy Weaver would pull me into his office and address those problems like man-to-man, heart-to-heart, to show that, hey, big fella, I care about you, and that's what Zion Williamson need. He's been pounded on enough, like far as even myself, I didn't criticize him. He's been fat shamed. He's been every single thing in the world, but now he's in the space that he looks happy, he's smiling, he's in shape, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do on that floor, because I think he's going to go out there and do a great job this season and be healthy and be that leader that they want him to be.
Yeah, look, the Western Conference, it's incredibly crowded this year. The Pelicans have a lot of injuries that they're going to have to battle through, but you hope that this is the year that Zion is the one to sort of take them to the level that we've all thought that they could be at for several years. One of those teams that we have a lot of expectations for in a crowded West, of course, is the Houston Rockets. And Shams, you broke some unfortunate news on the show yesterday that Rockets point guard Fred VanVleet, he suffered a torn ACL during an offseason workout. He could miss the entire 2025-2026 season. He just signed a 2-year extension this summer, and his absence, it leaves a hole for a team without a true backup point guard. So, Shams, what else can you tell us about the injury and what the Rockets' next move might be here?
It's clearly likely that he's going to be out the entire 2025-26 season. This is an ACL tear. We're almost at October. It's just devastating. He's their starting point guard. He's their veteran leader. He's their voice. Him and Ime Udoka have built such a great relationship to kind of push this new era of Rockets basketball forward, but he is now potentially out for the season, and that means that Reed Sheppard, Amen Thompson, there's going to be a big focal point emphasis on those two guys in particular to eat up minutes at point guard. They also, like the Knicks, have different cap ramifications that are going to prevent them from potentially, even if they wanted to go sign a point guard, they're just not able to right now in the free agency market. So we'll see how they handle it. If there's going to be a move, of course, their team is keeping an eye. Do they, once the regular season starts, do they keep an open mind about making another big deal potentially? But I think right now you look internally and see what can you do. But just a devastating blow, a tough time to have this ACL tear for Fred VanVleet.
You say cap ramifications, I hear check in with Bobby Marks, and that's what we're going to do right now. Bobby, can you just spell out what the options are here for Houston?
I think the one option you're going to be looking at is you're going to get a healthy dose of Amen Thompson at point guard this year. Last year, 1,300 possessions at point guard, but however, most of them were with Jalen Green, who's no longer on the roster here. It was already thin in the backcourt. Aaron Holiday, Reed Sheppard as far as the backcourt here. Here's some questions for Houston. Help is not on the way. 80% of this roster cannot be traded until at least December 15th because they were signed or extended in the offseason here. Also, Shams mentioned the cap ramifications. $1.2 million below the first apron. They cannot sign a 15th player out there. Of course, the options at lead guard, Thompson, Sheppard, Aaron Holiday, who started 3 games, the backcourt depth of those 2 players, and of course, we're still monitoring Kevin Durant, who's extension eligible to June 30th, and Tari Eason up until October 20th. Still a contending team, but as you could see, it changes the dynamics when you're putting a third-year player in Amen Thompson at point guard, and with their questionable depth already.
Yeah, you're looking at a really big lineup as well. Perk, it sounds like the Rockets are looking at improving from within here. That could be relying a lot on second-year guard Reed Sheppard. How would you approach this? You're in Houston.
Well, I wouldn't overly react to the point guard situation because they have so many guys that can actually push the rock, from Amen Thompson to Kevin Durant to, what's the reason we call Şengün Baby Jokic, because he could be that point center. So I expect them to get out, play fast. That's not a problem. The problem that I do have losing Fred VanVleet, if you're the Rockets, is the shooting, right? They were one of the worst three-point shooting teams last season. And so where they're going to get that from? Amen Thompson, this guy's a generational talent in my opinion. I expect him to be one of the best two-way players in the game in the next 2 to 3 years. He's one of the most athletic players already, great court vision. So again, who's going to knock down shots outside of Kevin Durant? You look at the kid kid, Reed Shepherd, I think he's going to help them tremendously in the area that they lacked in last season, and knocking down open threes to make sure that they have the right spacing to be able to do what they need to do.
I don't disagree with you. It may be Reed Shepherd time, but that's asking a lot of a young player with very, very high expectations for this team. We're going to go to the Eastern Conference.